Would this highway affect and impact the development of the quality of life in Graham County, to include beauty, aesthetics, in fact, to help preserve, if not even diminish, the historical and heritage component of life and lifestyle of people here? These are the questions that I think at this point are important to raise, with the projections of rapidly increasing population in the county that even the DOT and these studies have pointed out. So much of the predication has to do with the linkages between the 4 lanes, access to the east and larger metropolitan areas, and big metropolitan areas to the south and west. Not of Graham County so much as to the development of the transportation process through here. To be completely open, my wife and I moved here 11 years ago and lived near enough to the road to be adversely affected, we think, by the amount of traffic and the noise and so forth. So I have a vested interest, to be sure. But I really question the propriety of such a large expenditure to put a road into Graham County on the predication of expectations to come without really an analysis of what that might do for Graham County. Also, after coming here, I, as a member of Smoky Mountain Hiking Club in Knoxville, which manages the Appalachian Trail through the park, as well as from Fontana to Western, and I've been the manager of that for about 10 years. I have a real vested interest in the Appalachian Trail. And as a member of the Appalachian Trail Conservancy, I'm authorized to present the position of the ATC on this road, which, to put it very simply and quickly, is that the ATC is in opposition to the construction of this extraordinarily obtrusive road, and to request as an alternative, if that's necessary, a less obtrusive improvement to the existing 2-lane, if that's necessary, to meet the real needs of the people in Graham County.
Thank you, Mr. Lowe. Next, we have Mr. Guy Roberts, and after Mr. Roberts, we would have Mr. Jeff Phillips.
Oh, I just wanted to speak about one isolated piece of property, which could be anyone's property. We have like 17, 18 acres, and it'd be affected then on a family. We're in a real close-knit family, and this road would come through, it would pretty much destroy the property. And I had some things that this long spill and stuff that I want to talk to you about is about the property has been over 100 years, and I guess I'm kind of nervous, but what we've done to try to help the people, we've put Airport Road through there, which has been a benefit to a lot of people in the county. They put in the airport. They needed longer runway space, and we let them have the runway space. They had transmission lines that were in the way, and for safety reasons, they wanted us to. We agreed to let them remove the transmission lines and bring them across the back property. So there was, I was all set to continue with it. Well, to go back, I had talked with my kids and some of my grandkids about what the property meant to them. And until this afternoon, I didn't know too much about what they had said. So I saw that, and I realized I don't have to say too much. And Mr. Lewis, you'll be getting copies of all that. But anyway, there's been a lot of praying going on about the property. And this morning, my 8-year-old granddaughter was praying with her younger brother and older sister, and she wanted to pray about the property. And she said in her prayer, she said, Lord, I know you've heard this request many times, but I just want you to know that this is real important to me. And so, and I guess it's real important to my wife and I have 4 kids and their husbands and wives, and then I have 14 grandkids. And this is real important to each one, to all of us, and I was in with that. And thank you very much.
Again, Mr. Roberts said, if you want to send in written comments, again, it carries the same weight as if you spoke tonight. So please do that if you would. Next is Mr. Phillips.
My name is Jeff Phillips, and my wife's name is Terry, and that was my father-in-law. That was just up here, and Terry and I have the privilege of living on this property that he was referring to. And before I get into my personal story, I just want to thank everybody that has spoken already, the efforts and the time that you spent in getting some facts, and I agree with all of you on that. I would just as soon this not happen. We've always thought of Robbinsville as a destination, not as a place that we would pass through. And we have shared our home and with many friends and relatives that come, and they all feel the same way, that Robbinsville truly is a destination where we go. We want to go to Robbinsville. We don't want to go through it. And but at the risk of sounding a little selfish, I want to save our property. As my father-in-law said, that property's been in the family for 100+ years, 5 generations for sure. And now my wife and I are living there. It has never been our intention, nor will it ever be our intention as looking at that piece of property as an investment. Instead, we actually feel honored that we can live there to preserve that piece of property. And as my father-in-law said, it's been whittled at over the years through right-of-ways and roads, and frankly, we feel we've given enough. At the sound of risk of being selfish here, we just feel that what's left of this piece of property, and just I do want to say there is enough of that property that it is still a beautiful piece of property, and we would like to preserve what is there for future generations. And it's got pasture land, it's got ponds, and I want to be able to fish with my grandchildren. I want to be able to have horses and cows that they can play with, and I want to be able to stay there for a long time. Hopefully the rest of my life, if God chooses to keep us there. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Phillips. Next we have Mr. Will Collins, and after that we have Sherry Beasley and Tom Carpenter.
My name is Will Collins. My property is next door to the Phillipses, and my whole point is the road, what's been done. It's taken 30 years to get the Section D done. And last November, November the 6th of 06, my mom and I was down here, and one of the engineers and I had a little discussion